I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. The University of Michigan Museum of Natural History is a unique local institution. You could spend days and weeks on end inside the museum walls and still discover new and exciting aspects of our world and universe. Watch as the new high-tech planetarium takes you to the depths of existence. The Biological Sciences Building is the home of the University Planetarium and Dome Theater.
Well, being part of the new building, also state-of-the-art. It's up to code in every imaginable way in here, which is really nice for us. We can, for example, seat 9 wheelchairs in this space, which is amazing. But it is a 30-foot dome as opposed to an 18-foot dome. It has an outside expression, which means you see it when you drive by, which is great for advertising. Because of the technology being current, we can do programming that we could never dream of doing before. Even though we were actually digital for the last 10 years in the old dome, it was, I'll say, a Volkswagen as opposed to a Cadillac system.
It's a 4K projection system, so it's definitely HD, but the real benefit of a planetarium is a 360-degree dome, and it's all about kind of surrounding your vision and everything you see with the experience that we want. So it can really sort of transport you to a different location.
When you walk into this dome, and the screen above it, you will see, of course, the night sky, but we'll fly out to a star and we'll visit a star, as opposed to saying, look, this little dot on the dome. We'll visit the planets, we'll fly through the rings, we'll cut the planets in half. We'll travel to the edge of the known universe and visit the various galactic sets along the way.
Series of 88 organized show people their favorite constellations, like the Big Dipper or something like that, but then leave Earth with that constellation sort of drawn in the sky, and it shows how that constellation loses shape and meaning once you leave Earth.
And the sky is no longer the limit, as the Digistar technology can transport to places once unimaginable.
We're running cosmic colors, which is about the spectrum of light and how that impacts astronomy. When you're sitting here in the dome, you feel like you're in a big, giant fishbowl with all kinds of underwater sea life. They spent years building these. Nothing there is real. It's all animated, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And that's the reef exploration.
You're able to do things, everything in astronomy that you can really imagine, but then also a lot more beyond that.
To plan your next trip to the University of Michigan Museum of Natural History's Planetarium, visit ummnh.org. Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with more news and information. Washtenaw County Parks and Rec make enjoying our area parks a fun, interactive experience the entire year. Whether it's sunny or snowy, the parks are always ready to be explored. Rolling Hills County Park is home to some majestic nature areas, but there's also an elusive creature that has inhabited the local wildlife.
Eddie the Yeti, he's a little rambunctious. He likes to get out and cause a little trouble around the park. He loves to do activities in the snow or in the summertime. He likes to ski, snowboard, climb trees, and lots of other activities he can do here at Rolling Hills County Park. Eddie and his family have been living out here for years, and we thought we'd let people know, give them the opportunity to come out, see if they can find him.
Catching a glimpse of Eddie is no simple task.
Today we came out to do the scavenger hunt, the hunt for the Yeti. It's an outdoor scavenger hunt, and they have prizes inside and hot chocolate and cookies and clues hidden all around the park.
You start out with a map that will show you where to go around the trails. We have clues lining the trail so you don't get lost, and then you have to hike throughout the park to the different locations to find Eddie the Yeti and his family.
Even though it's a little bit cold, it's still nice to be outside. It gives the kids a fun activity to do. It keeps them engaged, and it's really nice to enjoy the parks here.
For more on all the county parks have to offer, visit washtenaw.org. Our snow accumulation for the 2019-2020 season has been low, but when the white flakes cover our streets and sidewalks, there's some need-to-know info for residents and business owners. Learn more about snow removal guidelines in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hello, my name is Robert Keller with the City of Ann Arbor. Winter means snow and ice, and that makes it hard for people to get around the city, especially pedestrians. So as a resident and business, you need to do your part and help clear your sidewalks of ice and snow. What does that mean? Well, for residents, it means any snow accumulation greater than 1 inch has to be cleared within 24 hours. If you're a business, any snow accumulation by 6 a.m. needs to be cleared by noon the same day. So help do your part, clear your adjacent sidewalks, crosswalk ramps, and any concrete bus stops that may be adjacent to your property, and help make it easier for people to get around the great city of Ann Arbor.
You may have noticed some eye-catching artwork on buses, billboards, and even our local movie theaters with the hashtag #WishYouKnew. This campaign is fighting mental illness head-on by supporting an open and honest dialogue between youth and adults about mental health. Joining me is Kayla Steinberg, Communications Coordinator for Washtenaw County Public Health, and Lauren Mills, Artist for the Wish You Knew campaign. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Kayla, why don't you tell us a little bit about how Wish You Knew came about and sort of the importance about having a campaign like this?
Yeah, so it all came together this summer. The health department had gotten some funding from the Washtenaw County Mental Health and Public Safety Preservation Millage, which passed a year or so ago. And within that millage, people, the Washtenaw County Community Mental Health was asking people what they wanted, and a lot of that is better access to resources, more resources, things like that. But one other aspect of that was they really wanted something to, attack stigma, especially around youth mental health. So they came to us at the health department to do that, and this summer we talked and surveyed over 300 community residents, and we got a lot of different answers. It's a very broad topic, as you know, but one common thread was that youth and adults want to talk to each other about mental health, but may not know exactly how to do that. They don't know that the other one wants to talk about it. So we really started this framework of Wish You Knew to really start these open, honest conversations, and using phrases we got through the feedback about what people in the county wish other people knew about their mental health.
It's interesting because I feel like only in the last couple of years have you been hearing more and more about like younger people tackling mental health issues, because I think in the past we all sort of thought of it as like growing pains, you know, and it's more than that. It really is. And it is like that idea of talking to your parents or even just another adult that you feel comfortable with is really saying something, because I think a lot of times kids hold this back and they might talk to their friends about it, but their friends don't really understand the scope of it either.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of our phrases. It's like, wish you knew this isn't teenage angst, this isn't hormones. Like, those things can affect it, but these are real issues that kids want to talk about. And, if parents or adults in their lives can just listen to them or say, hey, I know like you've seemed a little off lately. Do you want to talk about something? I'm just here to listen, and I can help you find resources if you want, but I just want to know what's going on.
Well, so obviously the campaign is out there where you see like these images that Lauren here has made for the campaign. Why don't you tell me a little bit about sort of the criteria that you had going into framing this artwork, and then the quotes and stuff that go along with it? Were those your ideas, or were you working with the health department as well?
Well, I was working with the health department for the quotes. They really gave me a lot of freedom in terms of the parameters that I was working within. They liked a certain style that I had been doing recently, and we kind of went from there and abstracted it a little bit more because it was a lot more detailed. We were just making sure that everything was bright and airy, but still had like an air of seriousness. Nothing that was too saddening or depressing, but still would be well received, because I know as an art major, as an artist, that bright colors are very attractive, they lift the mood, things like that. So we it was definitely like a 50-50 partnership with the art.
Yeah, so the phrases, they came from these conversations we had this summer. And then one of my favorite things about the art, which was Lauren's idea, was each person in the campaign, it represents a local resident.
So they're real people?
So they're real people. And some of them have added their own phrases to the work as well. So that's been a great collaboration.
Yeah.
How was it working with real people? Or is that something you typically do as an artist?
Do I usually? I haven't.
Yeah.
Not too much, except for the photography that I was doing a few years ago. Except for that, I kind of draw or paint as I please. But this new experience has been very interesting. I like it a lot, yeah, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. Other than, you know, seeing the images around town and stuff, what else is the county doing with this campaign? There's a Washtenaw mental health cares team now.
So the campaign, the Wish You Knew campaign, it's mostly a media campaign. It's a lot on Instagram. So that's at Wish You Knew Washtenaw on Instagram.
And you can tag your photos and stuff in there.
Yeah, definitely. Can also find more at washtenaw.org/wishyouKnew. But so a big part of this is combating stigma, but we know that, you know, if there's no stigma and there's still no access to resources, things aren't going to get better. So a big part of the campaign is also promoting, as you said, the Washtenaw County Community Mental Health Cares line, which is a 24/7 line that anyone can call in the county with any mental health questions. And that's also been expanded under this millage. So there's a lot of work being done within the millage in addition to the Wish You Knew. So expanding resources on top of reducing stigma.
When did this campaign roll out? Late last year?
So we did all of the community feedback in the spring and summer, and then it officially launched, I think, in November. And the billboards and bus ads and movie theater ads, we got those up during the holiday season because we know that's, at least historically, a time where people deal with a lot of mental health issues.
Definitely. And this season alone, just the winter season, kind of gives people that sort of blues too.
Yes, definitely in Michigan.
Have you noticed, have people been talking to you about it? Have people been calling the line? Has it made any sort of a difference so far?
Yeah, definitely. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback. On Instagram alone, I think the posts have reached have had over 100,000 impressions. And one of the first videos that's part of that campaign, where it's a local mom and community leader talking about, you know, how just listening helps with her kids, that one was shared on Facebook over 100 times. So it's really resonating with people. And we'll see, we haven't checked if the calls on the line have gone up, but that's the plan.
Yeah.
And that's the hope.
Well, before we go, you guys could both sort of talk about this, kind of shining a spotlight on mental health and youth. What do you think that means? I mean, you're young. Obviously, you're both very young. So, I mean, can you kind of relate to this in a way? And do you think that there is a need in this community for it?
Oh, absolutely. For me personally, I came up in a background of church and being Black, and both have their issues in accepting the fact that mental health is real. It's a necessary part of taking care of ourselves just as well as our physical health. And recently, definitely since this campaign has been launched, I've been having to advocate for it a lot more than usual, because I've had run-ins with people who think that it's promoting being unwell. So it's been very interesting, but very helpful nonetheless, because I think all conversation is good conversation. It needs to be started however it starts. Yeah.
Kayla?
Yeah, I agree. Even just with the Wish You Knew framework, I'm always thinking, oh, what do I wish this person knew about me or about this campaign? And it's been really useful. A lot of the phrases, like when we share it with anybody, like even before it launched, it really hit home with people. Like before it launched, we just had a PowerPoint presentation of the phrases. So the phrases like, I wish you knew support isn't a link for a crisis. I wish you knew, 10 deep breaths won't always fix it. It really hits a chord. Like even if not every phrase resonates with someone, everyone can relate to the campaign. And we saw that both with young people and with adults.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Thank you both for coming on the show.
Thanks so much for having us.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer, and remember to like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.